It's been quite a while since I played some Guilty Gear Strive, and I used to love this game during the pandemic. I was making guides for it, I was playing a bunch, and then I just ended up falling off a bit. I don't even remember why. I think I fought one too many Happy Chaoses while he was at his peak, and let me tell you, if you've ever experienced that, you'll know that Akuma, Mai, Rashid, Ken, whatever, those characters are a blessing to be the best character in the game, so at least you actually feel like you're playing a game against them. Anyway, I've heard that Happy Chaos is much worse. I've heard there's new mechanics, there's new characters I haven't really got to mess with ever since I stopped playing much, so I thought let's get back in there and see if Guilty Gear Strive is still worth playing in 2025. So because I missed this game, I hop into tower, I'm like, let's find a match, and we get stuck on the cabinets. Do you guys remember how often this used to happen? Wow, they didn't fix it. Now, one of the big reasons I really want to play this is because two new characters are coming out, both of which I want to try, and they're actually finally releasing a ranked system. For those of you that do not know, Guilty Gear does not have like a traditional rank system. Instead, there's a tower where you kind of climb the floors. It's probably a fine system, but once you get to the floor 10 level, I think there's two problems. Once you hit a floor 10 level, it's really hard to hit Celestial because the level of players at floor 10 is kind of varies a lot. And then the way you get into Celestial is you have to qualify for a Celestial promo. And when you do, you go up there and you have to win 4 out of 5 matches, which seems insane. You have to have an 80% win rate against people who are a floor above you already, which kind of makes no sense. But either way, once you do get to Celestial, there's an even bigger problem where you could have someone like me who, you know, played the game a bit, made some guides, hops in every now and then, but you can move one cabinet over and fight the Arc World Tour champion, Red Ditto, or like anyone. Just the level of play on Celestial is insane. It's literally like, if you play Street Fighter, think of everyone from like 1300 MR to literally Legend all in one room, and you just go matchmake randomly. So yeah, not the best system. Either way, I was excited to try out ranked, so I got in there. So I first started off with Chip. Chip was one of the main characters I played a lot back when I was playing during the pandemic. I heard he has this new rope move and it's a little awkward. I had no idea what I was doing. I was labbing this for so long. It felt super janky to just like know if I was going to run on the top or the bottom or how I was going to jump off. How do you juggle with it? Honestly, it made no sense. But once you got in the swing of things, it was a very, very fun mechanic to mess around with. Even though I found myself many times just stuck on it, forgetting how to jump off and dropping every mix-up I tried to do with it. It was still fun to mess around with. But it made me realize one thing. Although I do probably want to play Chip long-term if a ranked system comes out, I really wanted to get into this to try some new characters that I never really got the chance to play from like the start. Even though Chip's rope was brand new, a lot of the things I was doing with Chip overall were similar to what I was doing years ago. Although I will say doing Rekka 1, Rekka 2, and hit confirming just Rekka 2 into Super is one of the most fun things ever. You actually just feel like a god. But anyway, I want to try some new characters. So the first new character I was going to try is Johnny. Johnny is a really good character right now. I thought he looks super fun, and I'm not going to lie, I don't have footage of it, but for my first big chunk of time playing this character, I felt like an absolute buffoon. Not that I was like doing crazy stuff and winning, we'll get to that a bit later. I was just dropping everything. I couldn't do his TK misfires. For that, I blame my switch to leverless. Okay, I promise you on stick I get these every time. I was throwing the wrong card. I swear Johnny's inputs don't make sense. The slash version of his card throws the card super high, but the slash version of his misfire tries to cut the card very low. Like, it's just everything's backwards, it's unintuitive. I was struggling with Johnny, but after literal hours of grinding and playing a few matches for fun, playing with some friends, playing in park, I finally thought, okay, let's go to the ranked tower. Now, I don't have super high hopes. I eventually want to get my Johnny into the top 100 Johnnies on rating update, which means I'd have to get to 1800 ELO, which is probably far above what I could do anytime soon with Johnny, because as I said, I'm still barely controlling this character. But for now, I thought, let's try to get Celestial. So I was playing quite a few games. I was actually losing quite a bit early on, going back to training mode, going back to ranked, whatever. But eventually today I strapped up everything. You know, when you wake up and everything clicked, you just remember how to do. I remembered which card goes where. I remember how to slash them. So we hop into ranked and I first play against a Venom. Now, Venom's a character that I have really no idea what he's doing. I'm pretty sure he's brand new, but I managed to get the dub. But I did the one thing you should never do to players in fighting games. I one and done the Venom. Now, I promise you it was an accident. 10 seconds before this round ended, I got ganked by my cat. He would not stop just meowing at me, and like I had to give the little boy some attention. So I'm sorry, Venom. That shy guy, if you're watching this for some reason, I'm sorry. Either way, we hop back in and we fight Goldlewis Dickinson, who's also one of the best characters in the game from what I've heard. You know, my Johnny's feeling a bit cleaner. I'm still dropping a lot of stuff. I'm not getting the best Oki situations, but I'm feeling good about the game. A lot of the fundamentals of just playing fighting games are kind of holding true. I'm getting my 6Ps when he's air dashing at me, trying to get some whiff punishes and whatnot. And honestly, I'm just having a fun time. I'm not gonna lie. Goldlewis is a character I assumed the first time I see him, I'm gonna be pissed, but I was having fun. Maybe it's because, you know, I'm not in Celestial yet. We managed to get the dub. We managed to get the 2 dubs, and then we get a 3-0, which lets us go into our Celestial promos pretty quickly today. Now, as I said, to get into Celestial, Celestial, you have to win 4 out of 5 matches, which makes no sense, but let's try it out. First up, we're fighting a Leo Whitefang. Now, I do not like fighting this character. I never did, but I remember that you could not RC DPs anymore, so maybe he's a little more, so maybe we'll actually get some punishes on these Leos that just wake up DP all the time, assuming this guy is one of them, and spoiler, he is. I swear in Street Fighter 6, you have 6 hours to punish a DP. You can just like get a coffee while they're DP and come back and drive impact them. Not the case in Guilty Gear. Not that they're like hard to punish, but you know, these people are they're landing pretty quick. You gotta press that button faster. So I realize I'm choking, but we bait out a few more DPs. He's a Leo player. Of course, he's gonna do them over and over again. We drop a game, but no big deal. All we have to do is win 4 straight on our day 3 or 4 Johnny, right? How bad can that go? And we do win the last game against the Leo Whitefang. So 2-1, all we got to do is win 3 in a row. Again, how hard can that be? I fight a Venom who is also doing his promo. So this seems like it should be a good matchup, right? Like I just played a Venom earlier. This one's doing his promos. That's about the best you could ask for when you're doing your Celestial promos, because you're fighting someone else who's technically ranked floor 10. So I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good, right? No, I get 3-0'd. It was not even close. I don't even know what he was doing half the time, but I was learning. Honestly, I was not upset. I feel like if I did get into Celestial this quickly with Johnny, something might have been wrong with the game, because I'm still not playing too well. But I was having fun, honestly. I was having a lot of fun. So my initial goal of trying to hit Celestial with Johnny will not be completed today, but I did want to play a few more games. I play against a Dizzy player who I also don't know like the extent of what she could do. I know she has some cool stuff with her wings. Turns out it's not that cool. It takes 6 hours to activate. But I could tell this Dizzy player was pretty good, and I was just having fun playing them, so I kept trying to rematch. By the end of our games, it ended up being 3-3. I was having fun, so I tried to chase him down a little bit more, but I guess that person did not enjoy Johnny because I was not finding that rematch. So to top it off, I play against a Potemkin. It made me realize maybe I don't like this game, and we switch off. Okay, but seriously, I'm kind of cherry picking here. Overall, my experience was not too bad in the tower. It was better than it used to be. I don't know if they fixed it, but yeah, mostly I'm just playing, getting ready for ranked. I don't know what they did to Potemkin, but I don't like it. What the? Either way, I realized Johnny's super fun. He's obviously a top tier character. I could just smell what he's cooking, but I can't control him yet. I want to keep trying new characters, but this time I want to pick a character that I've heard is easy to control and I can gorilla out. I want them to send 100 humans against me. So I start practicing some Slayer, and honestly, this character is so fun once you get going. Like you feel like you have the Infinity Gauntlet in your hands. Like you're just killing people. You're doing these left, rights, like the pressure. You're going across the screen, left, right mix-ups while you're carrying them everywhere. It's so fun. The pile bunker loops are pretty hard, I'm not gonna lie. Not that they're hard, but it feels like there's a different variation depending on what you started your combo with, which is kind of hard to remember when you're first new, so I'm gonna stick to 1 or 2 of them. I start practicing some pile bunker loops, see if I can hit one of these in a game later. I play a lot of games against one of my friends who was a really good RAM player, but he's also super rusty, hasn't played in a bit, so get my ass beat for about 2 hours, but honestly it was fun and it made me realize I'm ready for the Celestial challenge with Slayer. So we hop into ranked with Slayer and I find a Testament player. Honestly, this player seemed pretty good. I was not punishing the teleports. I forgot how Testament worked for a bit, but I was doing Slayer things, and you know, we got 2 swift victories and they refused the rematch. This is something I assume will happen if I play Slayer more. This character seems to bother a lot of people, but hey, I'm having a blast. Next up, I find a Kai player. We play 6 matches total. They're actually super fun. Kai's one of the characters that, you know, it's just a fun time. You don't feel like he's robbing you. Overall, we end the games at 4 wins for me and 2 losses, which lets me try my Celestial challenge. So first up in our Celestial challenge, I fight a Nago Ryuki. Now, this is a character I've actually always kind of enjoyed fighting. Even though he was an absolute abomination early into the game, for some reason I felt like I was actually interacting with him in like meaningful ways. Maybe I just knew the matchup better than I knew a lot of other characters for some reason. So I'm honestly okay with this. So let the Celestial challenge begin. I'm not gonna lie, there's not much commentary I'm gonna give you here. I was monkeying out and I was having a blast. The left, right, 1 million damage. This guy did not like to block meaty close slash. Honestly, I noticed a lot of people don't like, you know, you gotta guess. It's meaty, boys, it's meaty. And we were doing way too much damage for someone who does not even know Slayer's optimal combos. And we get first win, our second win, and finally we closes it out with a 3-0 victory over the Nago. So not bad. All we have to do is beat someone else 2-1, which honestly, depending on our matchup that we get, could be very hard, but much more doable than our Johnny situation earlier. I look around for an open cabinet and I find a Celestial Testament player. Their level is relatively low. Usually in Celestial, you're used to seeing people with like super high levels in the thousands, so I assume that Testament is a secondary. But either way, that's good news for us. We win game 1 doing some Slayer things. Honestly, I was having a blast. Game 2, I don't think I could have just let go of my controller. I could have got a coffee break. It would have been the same result. I couldn't get in. Honestly, I couldn't get in. I know Slayer has some more advanced stuff with like his Kara, dash, jump, cancel, map up, whatever, but I didn't know how to do it, okay? I didn't know how to. If it was just a dash Kara, honestly, I think I could do it. but I know he can't cancel his dash, so you have to jump and then cancel that. And honestly, with hitbox, I barely know what I'm pressing these days, so that's just too much to think about. So I did think that some of these like zoner characters would give me some trouble because I'm just not good at using the more advanced techniques that kind of help you get in and grill out even harder. But either way, our record now overall in Celestial is 4 wins, 1 loss. We have to win this final game. Round 1 starts. It's super close, and I just, you know, doing some Slayer things. We clutch it out. We clutch it out. But I just got perfected. I'm kind of nervous. I don't know why. This is purely for fun. I want to play the game more, so I couldn't even care less if I didn't make Celestial right now because I want to keep playing, but I'm nervous. That's what the Celestial Challenge does to you. It's so stacked against your favor unless you're already really good at the game. It gets you nervous. It gets you nervous. And I hit the Testament 2 times and I perfect them. So that was fun. I love Slayer. I'm having a blast. I'm not even lying. So yeah, that's the end of my return to Guilty Gear for my first few days. I learned a lot of Chip stuff at first, but I really wanted to learn some new characters. I think I'm going to end up playing Slayer and Chip. Honestly, they're just so fun, and I had a blast. If you're thinking about playing this game, especially with rank coming out, I highly recommend it, especially if you're like me, you're feeling a little burnt out on Street Fighter. I don't want to hate on Street Fighter in this video, that's not the point. It's an amazing game, but to me, I'm a person that gets bored of like my character pretty quickly. I'm not gonna lie. You could probably tell in this video I played 3 characters in the span of returning to this game for like a day. And my issue with Street Fighter is a lot of the characters that look cool to me, they all kind of do the same thing because, you know, you're doing some drive rushes, some throw loops, whatever. It obviously is more than that, but I was feeling burnt out. And if you think like that in Street Fighter, Guilty Gear is definitely a game for you. The characters in this game play so uniquely. Every single character has like such unique mechanics. Every matchup you play, you have to learn so many different nuanced things. It's really, really fun in that regard. I'm not going to lie to you. There's a lot of monkeying out, a lot of it on my end if you saw that last Slayer round. And that's something you definitely have to learn to internalize and deal with. I couldn't do it back when Happy Chaos was at the top, but right now I'm having fun, honestly. I played against other top tier characters, and the overall power level is much closer to what I would have liked back then. It feels more fair, the damage is not as high, there's better options, but maybe I'm just honeymoon phasing. Either way, I had a blast. I highly recommend you try this game out, especially when they have like their official rank, which I think is coming out in August. The tower system is pretty doo-doo to this day. It feels a lot better. I was actually connecting to matches relatively quick. I remember I used to get stuck a lot back in the day, but overall, it's not the best experience if you're just trying to play some rank matches. So I cannot wait for that in August. I'm going to keep playing, hopefully, to, you know, stay unrusted and try to climb some ranked when that happens. Maybe I'll stream it if you guys are interested. Some Chip or Johnny or Slayer or Annika, is that her name, the next character? I'm definitely going to try Lucy. I'm a Cyberpunk Edge Runners fanboy, so we'll see how that goes. So yeah, that was my experience going back into Guilty Gear Strive in 2015. If you asked me, did I have fun? I'd say 100% yes. These characters are a blast. They look cool. They play uniquely, and they're just so satisfying. If you enjoyed the video, I appreciate a like, comment, and subscription. Let me know your thoughts about Guilty Gear. Have you tried it originally? Did you drop off? Are you still playing? Are you interested in the future? Let me know. I'd love to know. Stay beautiful, my friends. I'll see you in the next video. Ninja.